Hi everybody, welcome back to Sipsville. Oh, it's such a sad day in Sipsville. All of our cool guys got killed. Oh, the first siege of Sipsville, the worst siege of Sipsville. Oh, jeez. We lost Juliana, our sheriff. Uh, we also lost Anne. Oh, God, our hero. Remember when she ran out into this field, defied all the odds, and saved Sadon's rotting, putrid corpse and dragged it back into the dining room and put it into a barrel? Good times. Not anymore, though, because she's dead. And we also lost Bryce. Bryce, our resident Nintendo player and general badass, also bit the dust in the siege of Sipsville. A bunch of spiders turned up, and it was all too much. Fendril, turns out, I wasn't too keen on Fendril, but when the battle got started and everybody ran out into the field to fight the spiders, Fendril climbed up a tree, right to the top of the tree near the site of the battle, and spent a lot of time recording the events of the battle, which was quite good, actually. It means that we got a really accurate account of everything that happened. I'm just going to turn these on quickly, actually. We need some more flour. I think we're running low. Yeah, well, I say running low. We've only got 29 flour in all these barrels and maybe some more. But that's okay. We'll get some more pumping out. Anyway, back to Fendril. Fendril's up a tree, watching the battle progress, and taking record of everything that was happening in the battle. So what happened was, and this is according to Fendril, and we gotta believe him because he was there, and people saw him hiding up the tree. He was scribbling frantically, trying to get all the details down as things were happening. And what happened was, Juliana went barreling in, trying to attack 3 spiders at once, which is fair enough. I mean, good on Juliana. You got to admire that. She went in after 3 spiders. Bryce saw her charge in and decided that he was going to go help because he was converted to a soldier as well. The spiders together cleaved Juliana, and unfortunately, what happened was they managed to split her breastplate. The breastplate was already under enormous pressure from within. I mean, there was so much of Juliana to pack in underneath that breastplate. So just the slightest sort of like sneeze would have actually caused the breastplate to split. Split it did. It came flying open and unleashed Juliana's multiple rolls and massive floppy breasts. Which came flying out of the breastplate as it split and hit Bryce directly in the face, concussing him. He fell over and was concussed. He couldn't move or do anything. That's when Geordie decided to enter the fray. He came barreling in, swinging his battle axe wildly, and accidentally managed to chop Bryce's head off while he was laying on the ground unconscious. Because he's blind, he can't see, didn't know what he was doing. Maybe making Geordie a soldier wasn't the brightest idea on my part. And as that was happening, Juliana got pierced in the heart by a spider, and it must have been a pretty deep piercing because, wow, I mean, there was a lot of coverage. There was a lot of protection for that heart on Juliana. But nevertheless, Spider managed to get her, pierced her heart, and as Juliana was falling over, screaming like Jabba the Hutt dying, no, it was like almost like slow motion, even though it happened in real time. Just her voice sort of meant that it sounded like it was slow motion. She managed to fall over and crush Anne under her tremendous weight. So poor Anne was out there with her bow and arrow, fighting like there was no tomorrow, only to get crushed in a really tragic friendly fire accident caused by Juliana. So not the best result. That was actually a very terrible result. I'm gonna get some more stone down here. It could have gone a lot better, and that's why it was good that Fendril was on the case, because we can learn from our mistakes now. We know where we went wrong. Thanks to Fendril and his account of everything that happened. And it means now that we're going to have a bit of a shakeup in Sipsville. We're going to have to assign some roles to people, and people who have those roles are going to be excluded from being soldiers, because we don't want to risk anybody in a key role getting killed, like Juliana did. Because now we're without a sheriff, and Adelaide's a new person. Doesn't even deserve to be a sheriff. Doesn't deserve to live in this nice room or anything. So bam. You're gone, Adelaide. You're out of there. You're going to have to go and figure it out somewhere else in this room, in Anne's old room. That's fine, Adelaide. Because any new intake into Sipsville means that they're going to live in this barracks, which is going to be expanded. It's going to have to be expanded at some point because we're going to need some more rooms. They're going to live in there, and as they progress through Sipsville, we can then move them out. I think probably at this point it's worth mentioning as well, Geordie, who's the last survivor from the original crew that helped settle and found Sipsville, is now going to be made the sheriff. We're going to have a blind sheriff, and it's a bit risky having a blind sheriff, but we got Socrates here, and Socrates is going to act as Geordie's guide chicken. He's going to follow him around everywhere, and he's going to make sure that he's not doing anything stupid, because, you know, I mean, Geordie does tend to do some pretty stupid things. But that's okay. Socrates is going to keep an eye on them. And not only is Socrates going to keep an eye on him, Fendrel is also going to be keeping an eye on him. We're going to build Fendrel his own little house. It's only going to be little. It's not going to be lavish like the sheriff's apartment. We're going to let him keep his bed in his cupboard because he's proven himself to be somewhat useful. And Fendrel's going to be the town scribe. He's going to walk around and he's going to take note of everything that happens so that we always have a very accurate account of everything that's going on in Sipsville. He's going to be a battle recorder, so we're going to, just like on like the ITV or Sky News or whatever, or CNN, when those war correspondents go out into the field and they got the flak jackets and the helmets, we're going to give Fendrel a helmet, and we're going to give him some armor as well. And if he's lucky, a weapon, but probably not a weapon, because he's not going to do any fighting. He's just going to hide in a tree with his armor and his helmet on, and he's going to record battles, and that's going to be pretty awesome. So there we go. Let's get Demetrius moved then. Let's delete his personal room here. And God, a lot of you are going to be so happy with this. Look at this. Demetrius, Geordie, is now the sheriff. We're going to have to move all of his crap, though, to enable it again. So let's move the cupboard over slightly. We'll move the bed and his potted plants as well. We're going to have to move God, we're going to have to move a lot of stuff. It's all going to start when the cupboard moves, though. Then we'll be able to move the bed and the plant and everything else. Oh, or just make him a new one. That's fine. Yeah, just bring his old one in, and we'll just move this one into somebody else's room eventually when they deserve it. Actually, Fendrel can have 2 cupboards for now. He's such a boss anyway. I mean, he did such a good job. I know it was really hard on him, but you know, what can you do? Maybe Geordie can actually have 2 beds, one for himself and one for Socrates. Oh God, that'd be nice. Wish there was some way that we could actually lock Socrates in this room. That'd be sweet, because he's just out here now. He's gonna get killed by somebody. There's not really any way of having a pet in this game, and it would be sweet if you could. Let's give Simon Roger a bed. I think he deserves one, actually. Simon Roger's been working like an absolute beast. I don't know if you noticed, but look, he's down here baking bread. He's always moving stone or mining or doing something awesome. And God, he just looks so good with it too. I think it's time that he had a bed. And he could probably have this other cupboard as well eventually. Once we move Fendrel out, he can have that cupboard. So let's get these decorations moved as well. Let's get the stone statue in the corner here so that Geordie doesn't accidentally run into it and poke his eyes out with the sword on the statue, even though, you know, obviously that doesn't really matter in Geordie's case, but still, you know, we don't want any emergencies, accidents or emergencies. We've already had enough drama in Sipsville. We don't need any more. So let's move the candle close to the table as well. And look, Godiva's down there doing it all. Godiva's one of the other newcomers. I think Godiva actually took Bryce's room, which isn't right either. I mean, she doesn't deserve that room, so she's going to have to fend for herself. I don't know which room she's going to take, but it turns out that Godiva is a bit of a naturalist. She's a bit of a nature buff. And we're gonna get Godiva all over it. We're gonna get her out there, planting trees, surveying the earth, and like she can smear mud on herself and not wear clothes and stuff like that. You know, all that kind of fun stuff that like environmentalists and stuff do. So she's not actually going to live in the city proper. She's gonna have her own little log cabin out here, and she can cook up all sorts of weird recipes and brews and do her voodoo or whatever else she's gonna do. So we'll give her a door. We don't want her to live like a complete animal, so we'll give her a door, and let's make her personal room here. There we go. Godiva at one with the trees, and she's gonna heal ill badgers and stuff like that as well, which is all right. I mean, don't tell her that I actually like cull badgers all the time, because I think she'd be a bit upset. But what she doesn't know won't hurt her, and especially if she's out here in the middle of nowhere in this little shack, it means that all the badgers that come close to Sipsville I can kill without her ever finding out about it. So that's good too. We seem to have a bit of wood laying around here. We could probably do with a little bit more as well, just in case we run out of materials for Godiva's little log cabin. So let's get people cutting down all this stuff. We can then extend the road as well. Let's see how we're doing for stone down here. We haven't uncovered any more dungeon as well. I'm a bit scared though. I mean, this is quite a big area. I think we're going to uncover some dungeon pretty soon. But let's get this mined out too. We need a bit more stone. And wow, somebody can have this this cool house as well. I think the Matildas are going to have to be moved out of here soon as well, because the Matildas are going to be heading up the Sipsville army, because of their performance in the siege. I mean, the two Matildas actually pretty much killed everything, I think. They've got the signature move where they hold hands and they twirl each other around and cut everything in their path. And that's to be reckoned with. You shouldn't underestimate a signature move like that. I certainly won't. I don't want to get in their way. So that's fine. The two of them, the two Matildas, are going to overthrow me one day and call this place Matildaville. But until that day, they can be a joint sister act. They can head up the army, the Sipsville army, and they can do that from here. We'll put them both in here, I think. We'll have to extend this out slightly, but that's okay. We'll extend it out, and then the two Matildas can live in here and command the army from in here. So let's actually destroy the stone wall here, and we'll just extend it slightly. So the Matildas, even though they head up the army, will definitely go into battle each time as well, because we need them to. We need their signature move. We need their DPS, and you know, they're just general badasses as well. So that'll be good. Which leaves us with Jocelyn, Gloriana, and Eleanor, all soldiers as well, who will be moved up here to join William, who's also a soldier, Adelaide, who's going to be a new soldier, Muriel, Simon, Roger, and Fendra. Well, Fendra will move out of here. We'll build them something here. Simon Roger, I think we should make Simon Roger the chief forge person, smithy. Because he looks like that kind of guy, and we can make like a little smithy residence behind here, behind our forge, and that'll be great. In the meantime, we can finish this bone wall, and I've got some plans for this bone walls as well. And I don't think those graves are going to be built, because I don't think there's any human corpses left. I think, unfortunately, we lost them out here somewhere, out the side of the battle. We can also get a monument out there eventually too, maybe some statues or whatever. But look at this, Geordie, all that raging paid off in the end. He's really come into his own. He's now the sheriff of Sipsville. It's a ceremonial position. It's not a combat position. He'll never be made into a soldier ever again. So we don't ever have to risk losing him unless he somehow decides to fight a ghost and get killed, or maybe some frogmen come back and he gets killed by them. But it's not likely to happen. He'll have Socrates to follow him around and keep him in line too, which will be great. Oh God, I mean, you know, we lost a couple of people, but you know, we're still on the up here. We're still doing quite well. Look at this. All these people are doing exactly what they need to be doing. We still have a ton of bread. God, we have just a metric shit ton of bread. It's fantastic. We're never gonna run out of bread. And we're cooking up meats and stuff. We got bones. We're finishing off our little graveyard and stuff. Oh yeah, this is fantastic. as soon as they finish this, and we can move Fendril out as well, that'll be quite good. We've got some stone down here, so whenever they're ready, they can start doing that. It looks like flour production has started again, but it's good because they're only leaving the flour inside the mill, which is fine. That's where we want the flour. And then they're slowly hauling it down to fill up these raw food barrels. So all good. Actually, we need to get rid of this too. We need to make this like a pass-through area so that they can come down here and go through here and get into the dining room. That'll work out quite well. It saves them having to go all the way around here, and it means that we can make some residences down here for people too. And now we got some mud that we don't need. I think that's Socrates, actually. I need to be careful that I don't kill him. I wish there was some way that I could like contain him inside Jordy's house. That would be ideal, but I can't do that. Okay, let's get the Matildas moved out then. Let's delete this personal room and this personal room. And our head of armies, the Matildas, are going to go in here now. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. Here we go. So 1 Matilda and 2 Matildas. There we go. 2 Matildas sharing a room together. Sisters who do everything together. Oh, yeah, that's fantastic. Let's get their beds in polar opposites of the room. And they got that really crappy 1960s wallpaper that Jordy left behind, but they're fine with that. They said that heightens their battle sense, so that'll be good. Look at these guys are just bringing the beds in. One of the Matildas wants to look at the wall. The other one wants to have their bed facing out like a normal person, so that's good. And we'll get some chairs. We'll get 1 chair here and another chair here, and then let's also get some. Let's get some wooden tables, actually. That'll be fine. There we go. Wooden tables. And we'll also get some potted plants, because potted plants are great. And we want to spruce it up a little bit for them. You know, we want them to have nice things, because we want them to command our armies with some gusto and some flair. And if they have nice things and they feel nice and feel good about themselves, they're going to do an even better job. So that's great. Okay, well, things seem to be sort of running again. Even though we've had a couple of setbacks, we've got a new sheriff, we've got plans for Fendril, we've moved the Matildas up into this other residence here. I think Gloriana's got her nature hut set up. Yep, she's all good to go. She's sleeping on the ground. She doesn't need a bed or anything like that, so that's fine. She can do some research out there, and she can be like a tree surgeon and a badger healer and all that kind of good stuff. And don't tell her that I kill badgers, obviously. And we'll try to get this graveyard finished up next episode, and we'll also carry on going down into the dungeons. Now that we have people earmarked to be soldiers, we'll get them all kitted out, and we can do some excursions down into the dungeon. Hopefully we don't get sieged again in between. God, that'd be terrible. I don't want to get sieged again. 1 siege is enough for me. That was awful. I didn't like that at all. But if it does happen again, we got the 2 Matildas to save us, so it'll be all good. But as usual, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you for the next one.